Sahil, great to have you on. Take three. We kind of knew this was destined for a further rewrite yesterday when we got that cryptic statement from Senator John McCain suggesting it probably needed more work, and that tipped us to 3 no's. But the bottom line is the moderates are just not happy. They can't justify those cuts to Medicaid, among other things, back home with voters.
That's right. So I think what we're looking at now is that there are 2 hard no's. There is Rand Paul from the right saying it doesn't go far enough in repealing the Affordable Care Act. And then there's Susan Collins from the moderate wing saying that these Medicaid cuts are too deep and she hasn't seen enough in the bill to justify her voting for it or, frankly, for the motion to proceed to it. So this thing, if there's one more Republican as a hard no on the motion to proceed, this bill could die before it even comes up for debate. Now, as to further revisions, that's certainly a possibility. It's unclear whether McConnell's going to try to do that. The Senate Majority Leader is going to try to do that during the amendments process after this bill comes up and Republicans vote to move to consider it, or he could just rewrite the bill and change some provisions before bringing it up for the, at the outset. It's not clear he needs to do that yet. There are several Republican senators who are on the fence. That includes Shelley Moore Capito, that includes Rob Portman, that includes Lisa Murkowski and Dean Heller. And you also have Mike Lee out there on the hard right who is not convinced yet. So keep an eye on those 5 senators. They're going to determine probably whether McConnell gets us across the finish line.
Under the current proposals, Sahil, he added $70 billion on top of the $112 billion to try and stabilise these insurance markets. Do you think he held back some cash here because he could shelve some of his future plans for deficit reduction and pull some extra cash out of a pocket here? Do you think that was always the plan?
Yes, I think he knows what he's doing here. I think he added not just the $70 billion, he added $45 billion as well for opioid treatment, and that's probably going to help with Capito and with Portman, whose states are suffering from that epidemic. So, depending on what the CBO says about the Ted Cruz proposal, which is probably the biggest, most significant change that this bill made, which would, include a deregulation that allows insurance companies to sell skimpy and cheap plans if they also sell some that cover, that abide by ACA essential benefit requirements. That's a big, big deal. And the CBO, for whatever reason, finds that that's going to cost more money for the government, either through uncompensated care or what have you. That could reduce the amount of money in McConnell's pocket to play around with and to try to get holdouts. But I think he's given himself a pretty decent cushion. So at the end of the day, he might still have some cash.